Thanks for joining me today, guys. Let me set the volume here. Get a bit more volume. If you can't hear me, let me know. I'll do my best here with the mic. So what you just heard there was Said Shrabi, and that's on El Sultan de las Cuerdas, the Sultan of Strings, the 12th Festival International de Laud Arab de Tetouan, so the 12th International Festival of Arabic Lute. Great album. So I'm going to be listening to a few of these tracks from here, and we'll be talking about the music. So the first track you heard was Said Shrabi and Tariq Ben Ali, and Said Shrabi plays a beautiful pishraf in the 5 rhythm. So 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, just beautiful melodies that he plays there. Yeah, so let me just set up the screens. There we go. Screens are off today. There we are. Okay. So yeah, you're listening to this album here, El Sultan de las Cuerdas. This is a great album. Has a bunch of players. So it starts off with Said Shrabi, Abdel Wahab Doukkali, Ahmed El Khatib, Charbel Rohana, Mohammed Bitmez from Turkey, and Ghassan Al Yusuf, Jawahir Anagam, not sure how to pronounce that, and then has some other musicians too. So yeah, very nice music. So listen to this again here. One thing I love about Said Shrabi's style is it's like his melodies come in and out of rhythm and are very fluid, but he's still playing along with the drum, you know, and it's just a great style. So he's playing a fa tuned oud, so he's got the high F string chorus, and so that's his style of playing. He plays everything with that oud setup. So he's got 6 courses, F, A, D, G, C, F strings, and so he can play really high up on the board, get a lot of sounds out. Let's hear a little bit more of that. There's not many oud players that sound quite like Said Shrabi. I think his style is very, very unique. He plays in some odd rhythms like 7 and like this one in 5. And the way that he just puts the melodies together is just kind of they're almost like a big long phrase, you know, and they all kind of come together, weaves in and out of rhythm. It's really beautiful. I really enjoy his style. He's one of my favorite oud players. And yeah, so I really like that style. For myself, I've never really got into playing the high F style of oud, the fa tuning much. It just doesn't really suit, you know, what I'm used to. I've tried it a few times, but I never really got into it. Let's see if I can change the camera angle here, make this look a little bit better. Get me out of here. There we go. Yeah, so let's go ahead and listen to another another piece here. So next we have on here is Abdul Wahab Doukkali. Now Abdul Wahab Doukkali, um, I'm not a big fan of this playing this kind of style. You'll hear um, it, he's a Moroccan musician, and he's actually mostly known as a composer. And he does singing, and he's always on stage with oud, and he's always playing and singing as well. But um, you can tell from his oud style that he's just kind of in love with it, and he's just playing whatever he wants to play, and not really going for like a really good, nice, deep sound, getting that good, sound out of the oud. So just have a listen here. There you go. That was Abdul Wahab Doukkali. So, as you can hear, uh, there's often times where he's just kind of like playing all kinds of chords on the oud, and it's not sounding completely harmonious, and it's kind of a little bit off and a little bit kind of messy kind of style. But some of the melodies he plays are quite beautiful, and he knows how to put together a taksim. He knows how to build that energy that you need to build and make a taksim exciting. And but not my cup of tea. Not really like my ideal type of oud music that I would love to listen to. He's not really bringing out nice deep sound of the oud. On that he's that we kind of expect to hear. It's a bit messy kind of playing, but like I said, he's known as a composer and a singer as well. Back in the day, back years ago, he has a very nice voice. But I'm not so into his type of music, especially nowadays. Contrast that with who we have next here is we have Ahmed El Khatib, Palestinian oud player. Let's listen. Okay, so that was Ahmed El Khatib and we're listening to the 12th Festival International de Laud Arab de Tetouan, the 12th International Festival of Arabic Lute, and that was Ahmed El Khatib and I guess his ensemble, Karloma. And Ahmed Al Khatib is a fantastic oud player from Palestine, and you can hear right away the clarity that he gets from his playing. Just fantastic. Like, as soon as you hear, it's a complete contrast from the style of Abdel Wahab Doukkali, which we listened to previously. So I want to say that some of my favorite players are the Palestinian players. So, for example, there's three players that just can get such a great ideal sound out of really, really getting the nice juicy quality of sound, high quality sound out of their playing, and that's Simon Shaheen, Nizar Rohana, and Ahmed El Khatib. So they're all Palestinian oud players, and their style is so strong. You can hear it right away in their playing. As soon as they hit the first note, you can like they're translating the energy from their body through their fingers directly into the instrument and getting a good high quality sound out of the oud. And that's what you need to aspire to, especially when you're playing. It's all about it's not how technical you play or how how fast you can play. It's how clear and what producing a good sound out of the instrument is the most important thing. That's what brings peace to the listener and makes the listener enjoy what you're playing, is the quality of sound. So Ahmed El Khatib, just a beautiful style there. I really am a big fan of his work. You can check out his other work. I use Spotify. He's got another album or two on Spotify. Just fantastic. If you want have an oud person that you should look up to, Ahmed El Khatib has all around great balance, beautiful Taksim style, beautiful modern. It's very exciting, very modern, very jazzy style. So that's really, he's got a great all around balance. And I'll spell his name again here, Ahmed El Khatib. I don't know who the percussionist is, but I guess you can find that information online. But yeah, his style is great. So now we have a Lebanese player coming up, Charbel Rohana, which he's also got a great style. I really like his arrangements of traditional tunes. Let's listen to a bit of him. so that was Charbel Rohana and his ensemble. Charbel Rohana's technique is very strong. Like, he's got great technique. And I met him at the Arabic Music Retreat in Boston in 2016. He was my oud teacher when I went to the Arabic Music Retreat, and great guy, but very strong technique. And so you can hear that in his playing. He gets a good sound out of the oud, and what he's playing is very technically advanced. A lot of embellishments and ornaments, and like really just very soulful playing too. But also he's a great composer and arranger. His arrangements are really nice. The way he adds electric bass into the playing, it's not tacky. It's very tasteful, and everything balances quite nicely in his playing and in the style of his arrangements and everything. So his style is very strong. He's got a bunch of albums on Spotify. Definitely Charbel Rohana. Check him out. Fantastic player. Also a great guy too. When I was at the retreat with him, you had I think it was 3 or 4 different sessions with a private instructor at the Arabic Music Retreat. And I had specific questions for him. We played one of his original compositions, one of his samai, and really nice. I wanted to pick out his particular dialect of playing, the little subtleties that he plays, the little embellishments that he plays, because those are some of the things you can't get unless you're one-on-one with a teacher. So I was able to glean a few things from his playing, and he kind of showed me in slow motion, some of these little embellishments that he would put in, and they're really nice, just very, very authentic Arabic kind of style things that you just can't pick up unless you spend time with a teacher one-on-one and get them to show you step by step what to do. So it was really nice to spend some time with him at the Arabic Music Retreat. And all right, so next oud player, we have something a little bit different. So we listened to some Arabic oud players. We have Saïd Shraibi, we had at the very beginning from Morocco, Abdel Wahab Doukkali, Ahmed El Khatib from Palestine, and Charbel Rohana from Lebanon. And now let's go to Turkey. We have Mohammed Bitmez, and let's listen to a little bit of his playing here. that was Mehmet Bitmez from Turkey, another very strong oud player. And this you could hear, he's kind of racing. The oud style that he has, I really like his playing. He plays you can see him on Faruk Turun's YouTube channel. Faruk Turun's is a famous oud maker in Turkey, and he's always demoing different ouds for Faruk. And his style is very great, very nice and strong. I'm not a big fan of this particular piece that he played here, just because I feel like it's a little bit on the messy side, showing a lot of technicality, a lot of versatility, racing melodies, but it just really, it's not like the kind of oud playing that I'm like, puts me in the zone, kind of oud playing. It's very nice and very technical, very nice kind of oud playing. I'm sure that's what he wanted to show at this festival. You on these kind of things, you're going to hear different types of oud players, and you're going to hear different styles. They want to expand the repertoire of the oud and stuff. And I don't know what rhythm he was playing. It sounds like it was an odd rhythm, maybe a very fast Turkish 9. But I can't tell. I can't make heads or tails of it very easily without seeing the notes or hearing a percussionist accompany him. But yeah, he's got some great playing. I think in this album, there's better examples of his playing in it. And he's got a Taksim album out too. Here's a Taksim. Beautiful. Beautiful playing. Great, nice. I love the way he starts out the Taksim. There's some silence and whatnot. A really nice style of playing. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you from this album. Now I wanted to show you another oud style, particularly Persian style. I thought this would be valuable to check out from my... Let's find it here. Okay, so this is Hossein Behrouziniya. We have, he's well known. A lot of people on my channel know this tune called Midnight Sun. And this is a great tune. that was Hossein Behruzinia on Midnight Sun, on Oud Barbat. Now, there's a lot that I could say about this kind of style of oud playing. So, Hossein Behruzinia is Iranian. He's my first oud teacher, and I was fortunate to take lessons with him when he moved to Vancouver back in the early 2000s, almost 20 years ago. And he's playing a different instrument. He's not playing an Arabic oud. He's playing an Iranian barbat, a little bit different shape. And this kind of style, first of all, the album is more or less completely improvised. So him and the percussionist Pejman Haddadi, they go into the studio and they pretty much just put out an album completely improvised. So that's the kind of style that this is coming from. That's why you hear a lot of repetition. You know, they're getting in the zone. They're thinking on the spot what to play next. They probably have come in there with some ideas. I'm sure Berzinia must have been working on this piece beforehand to kind of get the form of it, but mostly improvised. So that's Midnight Sun. And you can hear the oud sounds a little bit different because it is an Iranian barbat. Let's see if I can find a good picture. Barbat. Let's see. So I want to show you this one here. So if you take a look at that, it might not be easy to see it on the screen, but it's smaller body shape, and they've reduced the size of the body so you can reach up a little bit higher. It's got a different sound. Persian instruments like to sound a bit more nasal, you could say. And there are different styles of barbat. It's a modern invention, and it's based on, they invented it to bring back the old ancient Iranian barbat that we used to play. And so that's the instrument that he plays. A little bit different sound. I used to have one myself, and really interesting sound that it creates. The high range is a little bit shallow, and the low range is really chunky and like clear and defined. It's really, really an interesting instrument to play. You can only get them in Iran. And yeah, so that's the style that that is in. Now, what I wanted to show you was the classic. This album put Iranian oud back on the map for Iran, and that is one of Hossein Behrzinia's albums called Kuhistan. Let me pause here for a sec. Kuhistan. This, I think, was Hossein Behrzinia's first oud album, and it's just oud and percussion, and it's a classic. Like, it's all the folk melodies of Iran, all the folk tunes that everybody knows and are very dear to people's hearts. And so that's Kuhistan. Basically means nation of mountain nation. And so there's some really great tunes in this one. Let's see if we can hear one good one here. So it's just oud and percussion. There's overdubbed ouds, so there's two ouds. It sounds really nice. It's kind of unfair because I really like solo oud. I like to hear what solo oud can do on its own. But here in this album, you can hear, the high range, and you can hear another oud do the low range. So it's really nice and full. Let's see here what we can. Okay, this tune is classic. Every Iranian knows this tune. And listen to the style when he gets into it. All right, so that was Hossein Behruznia on the album Kuhistan. This is a really old album. I think it comes back from the late 80s or something like that. I'm not exactly sure when the album came out. And so he's not playing an Iranian barbat, he's actually playing Arabic oud on this album. But you can hear the particular style that he has is completely different from other Arabic style of oud that you can hear. All these are folk tunes, so these are tunes that you'd hear that everybody really knows. Great album to really hear Iranian style oud playing or barbat, and this really put Iranian oud back on the map in Iran. Yeah, so that's Persian style oud. There's lots of different styles of Persian oud now. In the last 20, maybe 15 years, oud kind of exploded in Iran again, and it's in part due to Hossein Behruznia's work with bringing oud back into smaller ensembles and really putting it back on the map. So that's his legacy, I'd say. And Andalusian or Moroccan styles. At the beginning of the video, we did Said Shreibi. But there's another oud player that's really good, that's along the same kind of school as Said Shreibi, and his name is Nasser Houari, if I can pronounce that properly. I don't know if I can... here he is, okay. This is a great oud player. Let's see if this is... Yeah, here he is. Takasim Oud. He's a great player. Very nice traditional style. It gets good, clean, crisp sound out of the oud, and he's got his phrases down. He knows what he's doing, this guy. A great oud player. I want to go to, let's see, Hamza al-Din. Hamza al-Din again is another, just a different, like completely different sound out of the oud. It's one of my favorite ones that he plays, of course, is his rendition of Lama Bada. that was Hamza Din, and that's on the album. So this one is on the album Eclipse. All his albums are good, but as you know, different, completely different style. I really like the Explorer series, Escalade, the Water Wheel. This one is a great album. I love these pieces. There's two long pieces and one short piece, and they're just fantastic. Really soulful playing, and they just are impeccable styles of oud playing. He plays very sparse player, but very clear, and like the sound is deep and pervasive somehow. And if you look at his pictures, you can see he plays very close to the sound hole, and so the oud is softer up there, you know. So that's kind of contributes to his sound. There's a whole range that you can play on the oud. Like, I'm gonna bring it up here in a second. So you can play closer to the bridge. You can play closer to the sound hole. It brings out different sounds, right? And mainly what I want to say in this video at the end is that really focus on producing a good sound on the oud. That's really the most important thing. That's what people really enjoy the most, and I think that's what you'll enjoy if you work on getting a nice sound. Try not to aim for playing passages so fast. Play for getting a good sound out of it and enjoying the sound that you make out of the instrument. So if you have any questions, now's a good time. I'm done with the music that I wanted to show you. So let's see here. Looks like we've got one question. This question is, in traditional flamenco, guitar is traditionally used to accompany singers rather than primarily as a solo instrument. Is this the case in the Middle East as well? Yeah, definitely. The oud definitely went at par one-on-one with singers. Usually oud players were singers as well. I think more in the modern age, now the oud is used as a solo instrument, but probably back in the day as well. But yeah, it depends also on the region and the style of the music too. But like in Egypt and maybe in different places like Lebanon, you hear oud and singing quite a bit, you know. Especially in the Gulf region, oud and singing. Like if you check out some Gulf music, they're always playing the oud and singing at the same time. So yeah, definitely an accompaniment instrument, but also it's a composer's instrument too, because you could, like, it can do all the maqams, it can do a range of different keys. So it's the ideal Middle Eastern music for composing and writing music. Another question here. Do you know Yasemin Shah Hosseini? Also, there seems to be a few good women oud players in Iran. Yes, definitely. Shah Hosseini's, she's a great oud player. And yeah, her style is very nice and very strong. She plays 7-course Mohammadi oud. The Mohammadi brothers are making ouds in high demand in Iran right now. Very expensive instruments, very nice sound. They're always working to improve their sound. And yeah, she's got a great style, great player. And do you play your multi-oud much? I sold my multi-oud. My multi-oud is no longer with me. I sold it off a long time ago. I always had a love-hate relationship with it. So, you know, for me, it's acoustic ouds all the way. Let's see. Salam az Iran. Salam. Durud bar shoma. Nice to see you here. خوش آمدی. Uh, a weird question. Hand weight and strength is a key factor in obtaining a good, rich sound. Is being a woman a disadvantage? Definitely not. Okay, so think about the factors that go into producing a sound. So you've got energy. You're taking, it's all physics, right? You're taking energy from your hands and your fingers, and energy is being translated into the vibrations on the instrument in the string. So depends on your finger pressure. Different people's finger pressure is going to produce different sound, different material that you're hitting the strings with. So the risha, the mezrab, whatever you put it on, whatever you're using is going to have an effect on the sound too. Where you're hitting the strings, as I said earlier. So those factors all go. Everyone's individual touch goes into what creates a good sound. So, but you can control that. Those are things that you can control. And yeah, being a woman has nothing to do with it. I've seen small girls on YouTube playing huge ouds. Like, the size doesn't matter. They're holding this huge oud and they're like getting around it, and they're playing great, playing a nice, perfect playing technique, even though the oud is clearly too big for them. It doesn't matter. The size of the oud shouldn't really matter too much. And some people may have some physical problems. A lot of people I hear, find the oud uncomfortable. The oud is an uncomfortable instrument, but it doesn't matter if you're a small woman, you can get a smaller oud for it too. But yeah, big oud, I've seen small girls play big ouds and playing them great. So someone asks, do you play any other Middle Eastern instruments? Yeah, I my first instrument back when I was 10 was Persian santur. That was when I started playing music. That was the first instrument that I played. It's a hammered dulcimer, so you're playing with sticks, and it's like hitting the strings like a inside-out piano. That was the first instrument I played. I played that for many years, up until 2006 or so. I was playing santur regularly for gigs and whatnot, but I decided to focus on oud. I can play a little bit of Persian ney, and I'm teaching myself how to play Persian tar right now, just because there's certain things you can do on the tar for Persian music which you just can't really do the same way on an oud. The oud is still a little bit, for me, it's a little bit awkward to play Persian traditional music, and traditional music is the music that I've got the most expertise with, and so playing some tar here and there, but just for fun, nothing serious. So another question: what are some exercises that you do to potentially reduce right hand wrist pain when playing the oud? I can play for hours but find my wrist hand being sore afterwards. Yeah, I think that's for everybody. Like for me too, if I'm playing for a long time, that's going to happen to me too. I think taking rest, doing stretches, all those things can help. Shaking it out, taking a break from time to time. It's being in one position for a very long time, which is bad for the body. So you gotta take breaks. You gotta get the blood flowing and stuff. I've seen this guy before. Never mind. I believe you need a different oud than Yildirim's. Can you tell me more about that? I'd really like to know what you mean by that. Why you want me to play a different oud than Yildirim's? So please share with me. Is it a good idea to learn darbuka in order to internalize the rhythms well? You don't have to. You can just play on your belly or play on the table. Or use your hands. So the way that they clap Arabic rhythms is like this for doom, and then the back of the hand for tak. So you can learn rhythms just by clapping. You don't need to play darbuka. Have I ever tried the kanun? No, I have not. I have no desire to get back into an instrument with so many strings. That's just I lived with that with santur playing santur for so many years, I just want a more simple instrument that I don't have to tune so much. Yeah. So never mind. Tell me more about your opinion about Yildirim's oud. I love my Yildirim oud. It's fantastic. It plays fantastically. I really enjoy it. Maybe it doesn't have a particular the Arabic sound that some people are looking for, but a lot of Arabic guys are playing the Yildirim oud, and they're loving it. Like Tariq Al Jundi, these guys, they like the Yildirim Palabiyek oud, and so do I. I really like this. So yeah, please tell me. You always comment here that I should get a different oud. I have two other ouds, but they're in Canada, so I don't have access to them right now. I gotta get them sent here, or when I go back to visit Canada, I can pick them up and bring them back. Have you ever tried a fretless guitar? Can you use oud techniques on a fretless guitar? Absolutely, yeah, you can. I've never actually played a fretless guitar, no, but you can definitely use oud techniques. A player who uses fretless guitar, there's a bunch in Turkey, but Spanish guy Efren Lopez, I'll type his name here. Efren Lopez, you can find, just Google his name and fretless guitar. He plays all kinds of instruments, but he does play fretless guitar. Check out his playing. It sounds just like it doesn't sound like a Turkish oud, but his techniques that he uses, it's exactly Turkish style on a fretless guitar. Oud picks are definitely the way to go when it comes to playing the oud. This question: are oud picks easier to handle than the tiny Western guitar picks? I can play with whatever you give me. If you give me a rock, I can play the oud. So that shouldn't be a limitation at all. But like if you give me a guitar pick, I can play just like I'm holding a risha. Doesn't matter. Doesn't At a certain point, those things don't faze you anymore. But whether it's easier to handle, it just creates the right sound. It creates the right attack. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It just has the right sound. So if you start playing with a guitar pick, it sounds chunkier and clunkier. There's less finesse. So I really recommend that you stick to the risha and experiment with different types of risha, hardness, thickness, and find what risha works best for the oud that you're playing. Yeah. All right. If there's any more questions, I'll go do a couple more questions. But yeah, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna finish off. Thanks for joining me. Another word to mention is that I've been working on another oud beginner program, adding a bunch of tutorials, tons of tutorials to the oud foundation program that I have on my website. There's a link to it in the description if you're interested in learning the oud from the bottom all the way up. We start from anyone who, even you don't have to have music experience to play, to learn from this program. Go through tuning the oud, to reading music, to starting the oud from scratch and your first strokes on the oud, and goes all the way to playing more advanced work. But yeah, the link is in the description. And thanks for joining me today. And yeah, we'll see you next time. I don't know when next time is going to be, but thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.